Good morning, guys, and welcome to Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about shame. Let me get this shared out to the community. Now, if you don't know me, I'm Marshall Burtcher, and I help you find happiness after codependency. I do that by aligning you back with your value, voice, and vision, with the brilliance that you be. Because at the fundamental level with codependency, the fundamental cause isn't codependency. We can't really heal codependency. What we do is we heal your relationship with your sense of value, your sense of person, your identity, and your sense of vision for your future. So let me get this shared out to the community. If you're looking for a group, a home, a place that has your back in this journey, join the Thriving Beyond Codependency community. The link is above. If you're on Facebook, it is below. If you're on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, because 3 times a week I'm putting trainings out. Okay, so let me get this shared out there real quick. Okay, got it. Hitting that button. Good morning, guys. It's been an adventure with the quarantine and everything going on. And I'm doing well. I'm healthy. I'm happy. Let me know how you're doing in the comments below. So today I want to shoot at an important component. That's the impact. The emotional results that show up with narcissistic abuse, and there's 4 of them. And today we're going to talk about one of those, which is shame. The other ones that we will be discussing tomorrow and through other trainings, because there's 4 of them: shame, fear, guilt, and fatigue. And we'll be addressing each of them in their own lives. So stick around. You might even get some tools on how to you're going to get a process on how to work with those emotions, because this is fundamental healing, right? This is the groundwork in which we need to start our work from, so that from there we can build back into our sense of worth, that true innate value we actually be. And from being in that value, we come into tune with our voice, and we're able to live out our vision. And basically, you learn how to know, love, and live who you are. That's the goal here. So shame. Shame is the biggie. So when I was dealing with my own codependency, when I was confronting myself in this journey out of codependent behaviors, shame was dominant. It was everywhere. Everywhere I turned, shame for being this way, shame for doing that thing, shame for needing this, wanting that, not doing this, and not wanting that. Shame, 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 shame. And shame had become a dominant value of my sense of self, my dominant value of my worth, right? I equated myself with being shameful. My needs were shameful, my wants were shameful. Unless somebody else approved of them, then in this moment they weren't shameful. Shame was the guiding light, the principle I used to make decisions with, that robbed me of my own well-being. And it cut me off from myself, because basically shame says who I am is wrong. Who I am is flawed. Who I am is unworthy of love. And I really had no reason to believe otherwise. My family unit was based on transactional love. I had to earn it. I had to chase it. There was always this carrot out there that I had to go, consume. I had to earn the love. And if I didn't, that meant I failed. There was something wrong with me. And then my parents would turn around and get very critical about my choices and my actions. I'm a child. You're supposed to parent me, not criticize me, right? They express their own judgment and their own internalized shame onto me, and I internalize that as my own. And a child would, and we don't really have much of a choice in that a lot of times, because the brain needs assistance in going through what's called differentiation or individuation. And that happens when a parent reflects back to the child and helps the child explore their feelings about a situation, their feelings about another person's feelings and actions. But unattuned parents, and especially narcissistic parents, even codependent parents, don't have this ability to do that, because they themselves are not differentiated. They don't understand the distinct difference between me and you. They don't feel it, they don't conceptualize it, they don't live in that. They feel enmeshed in some way with you. And they feel responsible for your emotions. And so they return that with shame or with judgment or with guilt or with, oh, you're such a burden. So this is where we get in this fatigue stuff. But fundamentally, shame was the guiding principle. And it is for most codependents. Shame is the dominant force in what's motivating us. We're trying not to be shameful, and we're trying to be lovable by earning it through this transactional experience. This makes us highly sensitive to critical feedback. This is why criticisms, rejections, even a simple healthy no from a person can be really triggering. It can really bring up a lot of fear about being unwanted, unlovable, undeserving. And it can drive us to do very toxic behaviors of our own, right? We can become controlling. We can become avoidant. We can become hypercritical, both of ourselves and of others. Now, if this is relating, if this is landing, let me know in the comments. Give me a thumb up or a little heart or something. Just let me know what you're getting out of this. But the power of shame is dominant in this. And it also convinces us that we deserve what we're getting. So if we're with if we're with any abusive partner or peer or parent, and we're oriented in shame, part of us believes that we earned what we're getting. Like, yeah, I deserve to be abused in this way. I deserve the name calling, the verbal abuse, the ignoring, the neglect, the physical violence or the sexual violence, the emotional violence, the mental violence, the gaslighting. I must have done something to earn this. That's what shame would have you think. Because you like my little voice crack there? Let's get back into the teenage years. We fundamentally think that we're flawed. So, yeah. Another thing shame loves to do, leads us into doing this, is that while we might have standards, we might have boundaries. Thank you, Kay. We give them up. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really matter because I don't really matter. I'm not really important because I'm kind of shameful. Like, why would you want to know me? In my own journey, that was huge. Why would you like me? Why would you be interested in me? I'm a terrible person. I'm a disgusting person. I'm a harmful person. These were core beliefs about myself for decades. So when a person showed interest in wanting to be my friend or wanting to date me or just understand me, I was terrified because they're suddenly going to see the terror in me, and then they're going to hate me like others hate me, like the way I felt hated sometimes by my parents, or I felt like I was disgusting to them or harmful. And they were going to see this, and they were going to react the same way. So I'd push them away. I'd sabotage it. I'd run. That's what shame does to us. It toxifies connection. It destroys love, and it consumes identity like a black hole. We can never feel like... It feels like we'll never escape this. This is something we're taught into, guys. I have a very kind of controversial point of view on shame. I believe it's completely programmed. I don't think there's healthy shame. I don't think that exists. I think that what people term as healthy shame is really just accountability and disappointment in self. They're like, yeah, I could have done that better. I think shame is completely programmed, and it only has one purpose, and that is to point out where we need love, where we need to come back to us and love and connect with ourselves that way. I think that kind of shift in my choice in approaching shame that way has liberated me from it, because now I don't have to worry about shame. When shame shows up, I have one thing I need to do: is bring love in. And there's a number of different ways of approaching this that are very effective. But one process I use with this is I call the heal process. So the heal process is a 3-step journey, and it It's a process I developed in my own experience, in my own mentorship in shamanic healing for trauma. And this is not really a unique process. This is actually what we do anyway when we're evolving as human beings. So basically, it's I release my identification with the shame. So I let it go. Okay? I am no longer my shame. I feel shame. Okay? So I feel shame about X. I feel shame about who I am. And then I give myself permission to feel that way. I want to eliminate resistance. So, okay, I acknowledge I feel it. I give myself permission to feel it, and then I legitimize it, APL. And this allows, and legitimization is like, of course I feel this way. Look at how I've been treated. This helps us differentiate. It doesn't validate that the shame is real, like the shame is a fact, like it, let's see if I restate that. It doesn't validate the claim of the shame. What it does is it validates the existence of the shame and why it's present, because of how we've been treated. So if I acknowledge, get permission, legitimize, then suddenly I have all this space. And this space allows me to release the shame, which allows me, so that's like step one. I can release shame by acknowledging it, give myself permission to like, yeah, but I'm feeling this, and legitimizing. Of course I feel this way. Look at what I've been through. Suddenly it's got all this space to move. That can release, that can result in release, which then allows us to go into the next step, which is kind of the big leap. And it's also the secret to lasting healing. It's one of those secrets that I have that get my clients results that last for the rest of their lives, and it's called integration. We're going to integrate something else as our core reference point, core reference emotion. And that's usually going to be love, right? Because if we go back to healing codependency, which we really don't do, we actually evolve out of codependency. When we evolve out of codependency, we're taking and addressing our core sense of worth or value. And we're moving it back to what I call innate value, which is typically joy. Maybe love, it could be competence, it could be other things, but most people first align with joy. That gives ignition to your true self, because your true self is displayed through your voice and vision, which is really cool. Love it. Well, if I integrate love in that place, then my core value, my innate value rather, becomes aligned with me. And that gives an expression of voice and vision, which I call in this process embodiment. So if I'm aligned and integrating with love, I'm a lovable, worthy person. I am love. I can feel love, be love for myself. And I start to see and hear myself. My choices, my actions, my desires, my repulsions, my inspirations start to become clear because I'm aligned back with me. This is how we remove shame from our lives, and we replace it with an integrated sense of love. Then you don't need to worry about the shame, because when shame does show up, your orientation in love goes, I bring you in because this part of me needs love right now. See? This is why shame is an arrow to what needs love. This little process, the heal process, this release, integrate, and embody, changed my life. Has changed hundreds of other people, thousands of other people's life, both in students and clients. So this is how you can approach shame and use it to bring you back to the true you, okay? Because who you are is not shameful. Who you are is brilliant. That's my take on it. You guys are badasses. You're brilliant. You have so much to bring into the world. And you've only been through an experience through what I call the consumer supply relationship cycle. I taught you to feel shame about your needs and wants and desires and feelings and personality and all that. We're going to release that with this process, and then you can discover for yourself the truth of this. And that's the key. Thank you, Kay. That's the key here. Don't take this on my word. Go out and find out for yourself. Discover for yourself how this actually works and aligns you with you. Watch how you start to expand into your own advocacy. It's like, yeah, I don't like that thing. Oh, wow, I just said that. Oh, I don't really care that they are not happy with my choice. Wow, I feel calm and grounded right in who I am and what I'm doing. Who I be. That's the magic here, guys. Because when we're truly aligned with ourselves, where we have a huge capacity to receive where we're at, and then know what we want, what we don't want, what to choose, what not to choose, what kind of behavior we're going to do, what skills to implement. It's really already built in us. It's just that we haven't been trained, programmed through our childhood to reference ourselves. We were trained to absorb them and regulate them, give them their supply, whether that's attention, love, sex, money, enabling, protection, inflation with praise and attention, all that stuff. Guys, this is how we move out of shame. This is how we use shame to propel us down the road to our own sense of well-being, back to our true self, and back to our innate value, voice, and vision. So, put that into use today, guys. Go out there, experiment with this. I actually have a tool for you that leads you through this. I'll be linking it in the description and in the comments below. So it's called the Shame Release Guide. It's from the Happiness Strategy. It's one of the support tools in that. Also, we're like it's Wednesday, so 5-6 days from the launch of the Happiness Strategy 2.0. So live classes begin this Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. I've got a few seats left open for that, so hit the apply button above, and then let's get you in. And when you apply, you're going to get a little consult with me. We're going to talk about your situation and see if the happiness strategy is the appropriate fit for you. So hit that button, apply now, so you can get your seat in that. It gets you lifetime access to the live trainings because I do them 3 times a year, and it also gets you lifetime access to the recorded or automated version of the happiness strategy. So make sure you jump in on that. I'd be excited to have you as a student to help you discover happiness after codependency. That's really the goal. That's why it's called the happiness strategy. The big common results that the students are been getting is self-trust, self-confidence, and more happiness. So go there, apply on that, and I'll be happy to talk with you. Guys, keep yourself safe out there. Remember that you're worth knowing, loving, and keeping. I've got your back as you heal and discover who you really are beyond that codependency. And I will see you guys in tomorrow's training. Be safe. Okay. Bye-bye, guys.